His life was a path of self-creation. He used to dream, set high goals, and fight for his ideas. He was always focused on winning, and he always won. He is the famous Ukrainian rehabilitation doctor, Vladimir Kazavkin. International recognition, high titles of the Hero of Ukraine, awarding medals for being an honored worker of science and technology, and other awards for respected merits appeared later. First, there was a dream, the first and the most important, to become a doctor. Already as a student of the Grodno Medical Institute, he visited the Scandinavian countries, where he had the opportunity to become acquainted with the work of doctors that helped patients with chronic neurological disorders, and was impressed by what he has seen. Then the next dream was born. I want Ukraine to have the same level of rehabilitative care. After that, he began making his dreams a reality, step by step. It took years to find innovative and drug-free methods for care of patients with organic brain lesions and to create centers that could meet international standards of highly efficient medical technologies in rehabilitation. In the middle of 1980s, Kazavkin saw first results. In particular, the first rehabilitation center of the new generation, Elite, was founded and immediately gained popularity not only in Ukraine, but also abroad. Information about the significant advances of Lviv doctors led by Vladimir Kazavkin spread out into the world, and Lviv began to treat first foreign patients from Europe. Lviv began to accept people from the whole country, and all of them were interested in only one particular institution. It was nothing special from the outside. A former barn building became the Lviv Rehabilitation Center in May of 1990s, created by the heads of Glav Almaz Zoloto of the USSR. Its executives were people that had nothing in common with medicine, but they had a clear understanding what they were investing in, as one of the most important tasks of the center was the treatment of children with cerebral palsy. In a couple of years, the flow of patients from different parts of Ukraine and foreign countries has grown so rapidly that no one could have expected such an expansion. The new clinical base was established in the Truskovets Sanatorium Carpathians. However, Dr. Kazavkin had already realized that it is time to build a new hospital, one that could be stylish, modern, and adapted to the specific needs of each patient. A hospital that, according to Chekhov, was beautiful in every particle. Yes, it was another dream that set his heart on fire, spreading the flames of passion on others. During the construction of the hospital, it rather resembled a medieval monastery and was established near a functioning sanatorium. Yet, Dr. Kazavkin spent there the same amount of time as with his patients. During the days when he was not able to be present at the hospital construction, he watched it being built through powerful naval binoculars from his personal office. He always lived by the rule, if you want something done good, do it yourself. That is why he was always involved in everything, from the project development to the creation of the interior design of the rooms. He believed that the new clinic should be aimed to treat and inspire optimism through everything, from personnel and special equipment to the recreation rooms and stained glass. As experience showed later, he made the right decision.
The clinic is very good in terms of cleanliness, in terms of spaces where the kids can play to, release the stress and everything. The personnel, the ones we worked with were really nice, especially to Nadim. So this is what I can say about the personnel worked with, like Galina and Taras, so they were perfect with Nadim. In terms of treatment, it was good. Now for Of course, 2 weeks are tiring for everybody, for Nadim, for the parents, but we came up to results we were hoping for, and we're looking forward that after these 2 weeks, after he relaxes, we will see even more results than that.
I'm coming to this clinic because I find this very, very, very good in treatment for my son. My son Muhammad, his name is Muhammad, is old, 9 years now. He's find very, very care in this clinic and very good and modern treatment in this clinic. For this reason, I'm coming this clinic, and I hope continue come to this clinic again.
My personal experience as a neurologist and as a mother, I can see a great improvement of children's conditions after the treatment. Children with cerebral palsy improve their motor skills, posture, and it is incredibly interesting to observe how their intellectual abilities enhance as well. His work as a neurologist and a manual therapist and the observance of the changes in the muscle tone in adults after manipulations on the spine encouraged Vladimir Kazavkin to implement the idea of utilizing techniques of manual therapy when treating children, adapting them to the anatomical and physiological characteristics of the child's body. The result of this new approach in the mid-80s exceeded all expectations. It decreased muscle tone in patients with spastic forms of cerebral palsy, increased the motion range, which was noticed by the attending physicians, the patients themselves, and by the parents of sick children. In 1988, the Commission of the Ministry of Health, headed by Professor Ksenia Semyonova, accepted the conclusion of creating a fundamentally new treatment methodology for patients with cerebral palsy.
Я приехала к Владимиру Ильичу, пришла к Владимиру Ильичу в кабинет.
I came to Vladimir Kazavkin's clinic, entered his office, and he prepared 30 children for me to meet. Their mothers brought them to the clinic, and I began speaking with them. They told me stories how their children that couldn't walk, couldn't move their arms, couldn't sit, couldn't speak, suffered from intellectual deficits began to feel better. I was shocked. I have never seen a result like this one. But Professor Kazavkin's methods are unique, and there is nothing like them in the whole world. Soon after, the system of intensive neurophysiological rehabilitation, based on the original author's technique of biomechanical correction of the spine and large joints, proposed by Volodymyr Kazavkin, has gained a wide international reputation. The Kazavkin's method was included in the 4 most effective conservative methods of rehabilitation of patients with cerebral palsy. Rehabilitologists from all around the world come to the Truskavets clinic to learn more about the doctor's methodology. Today we had the opportunity to see that the rehabilitation processes that happen in this clinic are very interesting. I think they should be effective. I also think that it is very important that Professor Kazavkin and his colleagues are publishing more and more scientific works and articles that will provide a better understanding of the rehabilitation methods. This will give more possibilities for foreign specialists to study the rehabilitation approaches of the professor and find proof of their efficacy. Today, we have seen things with great potential. International recognition came primarily due to the visible results, when patients that could not be effectively treated in clinics of Europe or America, after a rehabilitation course in Truskavets, began to walk. What gratitude for the doctor could be better than a happy face of a smiling child who is making one's first steps in life or is capable of giving a friendly wave with one's hand? The European Parliament focused attention on treatment of children with cerebral palsy for a reason. The number of patients suffering from this disease is always growing. This is linked to, paradoxically, the advances of modern medicine. That weight from 500 grams, however, it is still impossible to treat their brain lesions. That is why the issue of cerebral palsy is more relevant in developed countries. The Ukrainian methodology of treatment that was presented on various conferences was also spoken about the patients that underwent the treatment personally. This little boy is from the Netherlands. His homeland doctors said that this boy will never walk again, but Ukrainian physicians helped him to literally get on his feet.
В буквальном смысле слова поставили на ноги.
Vladimir Kazavkin would not be himself when, after reaching one goal, he did not set up the next priority. Intermedical Eco-City is another ambitious plan, which is almost implemented in the Kherson region in the Natural Reserve Park located on Lake Sivash on the Arabat Spit.
A national project is being realized in Ukraine, the creation of a medical campus. The point is that the President of Ukraine and the government and our department drew attention to this thanks to Professor Kazavkin. The International Ecological Medical Campus in the Arabatian region will become the leading research and treatment center that combines the unique natural and climatic conditions of the southern Ukraine with the achievements of modern rehabilitation medicine. Apart from clinical buildings, a modern educational building will also be here.
Today it feels like the whole world gathered here. The most well-known professors and people that are working on the issues of children's cerebral palsy. The scope and the idea of this unique place, Eco-Medical City, are amazing. Vladimir Kazavkin is undoubtedly the person of the future that managed to create such a truly exclusive program. And even now, the situation in the east of Ukraine and the Crimea occupation are serious obstacles on the way of the successful development and promotion of the project. However, Vladimir Kazavkin is convinced that he soon will become capable of realizing this dream. After all, everything he plans and eventually implements are case designs of a great humanist and patriot. He wants the world to recognize Ukraine as a country of high intelligence, advanced technologies, and unique methodologies. And judging by the number of his patients who come here from all around the world, his ideas and methods are a huge success. I think that no one has any doubt that today the only way is to maximize the use of intellectual potential of Ukraine, and we declare ourselves modestly but with dignity. I am very happy that this philosophy in our position is perceived by leading medical centers of the world. The staff of several clinics actively shares and promotes the ideas of the institutions that are united by a common brand of Volodymyr Kazavkin.
Шановний Володимир Ілліч, весь колектив Міжнародної клініки відновного лікування вітає вас з ювілеєм. Ми всі бажаємо вам міцного здоров'я, щастя, благополуччя на многі і довгі літа. Вітаємо!
Зажегся кабинетов свод, в весенних лужах отражаясь. А детский доктор продолжает уже в который раз обход. Он нас тихонько соберет, забыв уколы и повязки. Нам новые расскажет сказки, и чудо вдруг произойдет. Подожди, слова далекие из детства подарит нам большое сердце. Оно большое от любви.
За плечима довгий плідний шлях, і на скронях срібляться сивини, та палкий живий вогонь в очах кличе до наступної вершини.
Біля себе згуртували ви гідну послідовників плеяду, і вони із досвідом новим переймуть знання та вміння радо.
70, як лавровий вінець, повен славних звершень та печаток. Але це далеко не кінець. Це лише рубіж, новий початок.
Хай оплот, надійний тил, сім'я помагає рухати науку. Вашу справу та гучне ім'я хай продовжать діти та онуки.
Упродовж численних днів, ночей важко не одне трудились літо, щоб зцілити, втішити дітей і почути вдячне від людей. Ви у нас найкращі, ви еліта!
Χρόνια πολλά, δόκτωρ, προφέσορ, και ό,τι επιθυμείς.
Χρόνια πολλά, δόκτωρε, όλα τα καλά, να τα έχεις, ευχαριστούμε για όλα. Володимир Ілліч, дозвольте привітати з вас з ювілеєм від нашої кіпрської діаспори. Ми поважаємо вас як нашого вчителя, причому вчителя з великої букви, який навчив зовсім по-іншому працювати, інше мислити, саморозвиватися. Ви відкрили нам вікно в Європу, а зараз ви нам відкриваєте вікна в інші країни світу. Тому ми бажаємо вам здоров'я, сили, наснаги, щоб цю важку ношу з достоїнством несли.
За надію в нашому житті, за невтомну працю рік за роком, і за вільні рухи, і за перші кроки, за нові можливості, досвід відчуття, і за віру в тепле майбуття.
Professor Koziavski, I miei più sinceri e migliori auguri per il suo 70° compleanno. Le auguro che abbia ancora tanta salute e che possa continuare ancora per molti anni. Auguri.
Sehr geehrter Wladimir Ilyich, wir möchten Sie gratulieren mit Ihren 70 Jahren. 70 Jahre sind eine lange Zeit und in diesem haben Sie ganz viel erreicht. Niemals rasten, niemals beruhigen. Sie sind immer in Gutes zu tun. Heute denken wir dafür und gratulieren Sie mit Ihrem Geburtstag. Wir wünschen Ihnen eine Liebe, Freude und viel Gesundheit. Und noch vielen Jahren bester Zeit und weiterhin ein so frohes Leben. Also Team aus Deutschland, herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Hello Professor, greetings from India. Wish you a very happy birthday. We are very happy that we have been able to meet you and interact with you during the course of treatments of our son Adi. We have seen the institution that you have built with your hard work and determination over the last more than 35 to 40 years, and it's an unbelievable institution and the unbelievable method that you have derived for the rehabilitation of the special children. For us parents, you're like a messiah sent by God to help us out in our daily struggle with our children, and wish you very good luck that you continue the same work and your institution carries on your legacy for many, many years to come. Thank you. Have a great day and a great year ahead.
Happy birthday, Professor. We wish you have a great day.
Every day. Tanjabi omedetou gozaimasu.
I will say to you for Ingrid and Maya, long life.